All right, today we'll go over the Ctrader tutorial. The only reason why I'm going through the Ctrader tutorial is because I do believe it's superior than the other platforms such as Metatrader and TradingView. And I'll show you exactly why that is. All right, so first things first, let me take you through all the simple features first, starting on the left tab. All right, so if you are familiar with Metatrader, you would see all your instruments, right, on the left. Just similarly, on Ctrader, uh, when you actually make a fresh account, you're only going to get this tab here, right? So all you got to do is to create your new watch list, right? For example, let's say my watch list. And in your watch list, you have to add your pairs that you want to trade. You can create multiple watch lists. For example, say you're someone who wants to be extremely organized. You can maybe change your watch, you can arrange your watch list such as commodities, indices, crypto, right? But I'm a bit lazy. I just like to push in everything in one same watch list. So all you do is once you create your new watch list, hit plus, right? The add button, and then you get all of your instruments, or you can search it up. For example, say you trade Euro USD. You can just click on the favorite button there, and there you go. It gets added there. So you can add multiple pairs, multiple watch list, however you like. And that's how you create it here, right? Or instead of having a watch list, you can just go directly to the all symbols tab here and click on whichever instrument you like and just open up the chart on the right. Then on the bottom here, you see the automate. Automate is for if you're someone who uses algorithms, right? So if you're using algorithms and you want to hook it up to the Ctrader, that would be important. I don't personally use algorithms, so I don't use it. You have your analyze button that also it's associated with algorithms. Then you have your deposit and withdrawals, right? So here I have a demo account here, so I can go through and show you what's going on. So you can directly deposit from your Ctrader from your broker. Instead of going to your broker page, you can just directly come up here and just directly deposit money, or you can also withdraw the money. So the main thing here I would say is your settings first. So your settings, you have your properties, right? You have your account number and everything. It shows you your leverage. In this particular account, this is the regulated broker, so it's at 1 to 30, the leverage, right? You have your email alerts. I mean, that's self-explain. You can look at the general tab here. You have your language, right? You can choose your theme if you like the dark or the light theme. I have the dark set. Your scale. So if you're someone who's using a massive monitor or a smaller monitor, you can like if you look at it there, you see how the scale changes. So me personally, I set it up at 130. The reason why is my monitor is quite large and I like to see all the numbers clearly, right? What else? So your chart tab you have here, you can set up hotkeys if you like. I personally don't use hotkeys as much. You have your startup assets. Yeah, so here, this is quite interesting. This is something that Metatrader doesn't have. So you know how we calculate lot sizes and everything, right? But if you remember, we calculate lot sizes when from deriving from the units, right? So 100,000 units is one lot. So you can, in fact, instead of using lots, you could personally use a units, right? You can use, instead of putting on one lot, you would put 100,000 units, right? So you could do that, or you can set it individually for each instrument, right? For me personally, I like lots. I'm used to it, so I set it at lots. You got your market watch. What else is important? Your notifications, you can set it up. Yeah, so quick trade. Quick trade is, if you remember Metatrader, you had the one-click button. So when you close a trade, it closes it directly without asking no questions. But over here, you can do that, or you can choose to set it up by single click or double click, which gives you, like double click will ask you twice, right? It will give you a confirmation that you need to click twice, because some people are a bit clumsy. They'll close out the trade by mistake. So some people, it would be more preferred for some people to actually use a double confirmation, right, before closing a trade. It has happened to me in the past where I would end up closing a trade by mistake. It has happened. So at the moment, I don't make those mistakes. But if you do, maybe something you should look into. What What else is here? Hotkeys, your emails, your connections. So this is irrelevant for now. All right, so you can close this tab on the left, so everything can be clean, right? So if you let me actually close these so I can show it to you in a fresh chart. Okay, you see that plus button, that's how you would add a new pair. So say for example you traded silver, right? You click on silver and this is how it would open up. And let me show you how the default template looks like. So this is how the default template comes in, right? When you open up your Ctrader for the first time. So to change up the settings, you right click on the chart here, all right? Oops, yeah, right click, go to the color options at the bottom there. Then over here by one, according to your own needs, you can set it up, right? You can set up the grid, everything. And once you have set it up, you can even remove the watermark behind my broker's watermark, which is somewhere here. I think it's somewhere in here. You can remove the watermark. Once you've removed the watermark, you can go to your template there, save your template. Once you save your template, you don't have to keep doing this settings over and over and over again, right? You have your viewing options here. You can set up things that you like to see in your chart, right? Your alerts, your orders and everything, your positions. Then you have your period, right? Your period is your time frames. So the time frames that I personally use, I've tick marked them, so I have easy access to them on the top left-hand corner, right? Around here. What else is important? I would say, right. So those are the important things with setting up for the first time, is setting up your charts and everything. If you want to see my settings, you could see it here. These are the colors that I personally use at the moment. Here, these are the settings I use. I don't personally use indicators, but if you use indicators, you can add them in here and change the settings for those, right? Okay, so you have your multi-chart mode on the top left. If you like splitting your screens, or if you're someone who has multiple monitors, I use a big monitor with just one screen, and I personally like to see one time frame at a time, one chart to analyze, right? So I like to flip through time frames. You have a zoom in and zoom out button. I trade candlesticks, obviously. If you guys like to trade some other instrument for whatever reason, line chart or bar charts, that's something you can do. What else do we have? So I would say this is probably the most important tools here to set up your chart. And if you look at the tab here, right here on my right, in the middle right there, these are your tools to do your analyzing, right? Me personally, I analyze on TradingView. So the only thing that I personally use here is the tool number one, which is your Crosshair. So your Crosshair would be, if you remember Metatrader, Crosshair would measure the distance. So for example, if I measure the distance from point A there to point B there, you will see there's a difference of 30 pips. And if I traded one lot for this particular instrument, I would have had a gross profit or a loss of 1508, right? Which is quite helpful, something that you can't get in Metatrader, right? What else? And another instrument that I personally use is the rectangle tool, right? Very simple. The reason why is, like, for example, I like to mark an order block. I want to see what price does at that order block, right? Or my supply demand, for example. And I would like to set up my order with, for example, if I want to take a sell, it would be at the bottom of the block and my stop loss would be at the top of the order block, right? Quite simple. So those are the only things. And I would say price alerts. The reason why I think this is pretty cool, using your price alert on Ctrader, is because if you notice your trading view and your broker charts, right? In this case, on Ctrader here, you will notice there is a price difference. There's always a slight variation with prices, right? Especially when you're trading CFDs, such as your US 30, Dow Jones, right? Or any other indices. You will always see there's always a price difference. So setting your price alerts at your trading view might not be so accurate. So if you set your price alerts on Ctrader, for example, very simple, say I want my price to, once it hits around that area there, I'll ask it to notify me when the bid is higher, right? Create alert, and that's it. It's at an alert, that yellow line that you see there. So it would give me a very accurate real-time data, right? That price is at this specific moment here, and I should be looking at the chart instead of looking at TradingView. Though I do still recommend setting up your alerts on TradingView. It would be even better if you can set up your alerts here, because sometimes TradingView doesn't push those notifications to your phone. So Ctrader pushes the notifications to your phone once you install the app, and it also pushes the notifications to your email if you have set that up. Right, so that's quite important. You can backtest here, which I personally haven't yet used. I mean, we can look at it together, right? You can go back. For example, you can set up your what kind of speed you want to use with the backtesting and everything, and the start date and backtest here if you want. Maybe that would be better than using TradingView, right? So you can experiment there. So on the bottom here, the bottom tab below the chart, yeah. You have your positions, just like your MetaTrader, all your positions that you add in here. I mean, for example, let me give you an example. Let's say I'm going to sell position here. Let's see. Oh, 1 second. I think I need to reduce the lot size, maybe half lot here. Okay. So you see how you have your order right there, right? Half lot. You see, just like MetaTrader, you have your TP, you take profit, your stop loss set. You have all those data that you need, your margin level, your free margin, right? Your stop out. But the cool thing with this is you see how on you have your SL there, your stop loss. You can set your stop loss, you can move it up. You see how when you move it up, it shows you exactly what the loss will be at that specific point once market reaches there. Or if price hits a TP somewhere here, for example, so let's say it hits around here, you would make about $700, right? So that's quite useful to know exactly how much you're going to make in a trade or how much you're going to lose in a trade. So accordingly, you could modify your position if you need, right? Another thing with the tab here, this is to market order in. These two small tabs that you see here, this is for limit orders. So for example, say I want to sell limit, right? You can just click on that and you can drag it in and you can put your sell limit anywhere you want. Like for example, there, I can set my sell limit. I'll be like, okay, I want my stop loss to be there, which is about that much. I want my take profit to be here, which is about that much, right? But if you remember with MetaTrader, once you set your limit, you can't change the volume, right? But with Ctrader, let's say you typed in the wrong volume, not half lots, maybe you want to put in 0.2 lots, right? You can hit setting right there and modify your quantity. Instead of deleting the whole trade and doing it all over again, you can straight up change it. Now, if you go and notice, you'll see your stop loss and your take profit, the amount you're going to make and lose is about it has changed. Which is quite useful, I would say. It saves a lot of time and headache with entering all the values back in again. Right, so that's quite useful. Okay, so the main important tab and the terminal, your trade execution terminal on your right, this one, right? So the first thing is your market, which is market order. This is where you see your spreads. So you see your spreads in this particular pair, it's about 1.7 pips, right? In MetaTrader, it will show you in points, but here you can set it up so you can look at it indirectly in pips instead of calculating. It shows you high and lows, all right? And the nice thing here is, for example, in MetaTrader, you had to manually, you had to enter the details to find out what is your margin, right? Your margin is your down payment in a trade, if you remember. So in this, does it for you. So for example, I want to take a half a lot trade. It tells me the estimated buy margin would be about $5,646. So I directly know what the margin is going to be, right? I can set my stop loss to a certain point here. Let's say I want my stop loss to be, I mean, let's say 22 point, just let's call it 22, right? And it tells me directly also how much I'm going to lose in the trade, how much in percentage I'm going to lose in the trade. What is my stop loss size, which is 57.4 pips, right? It gives you everything all at once, which is quite useful, I would say, right? And you can also do that with your take profit, right? You can set your take profit and it can give you an estimate on your profit and how big is your take profit set at, how far away is it, right? Then you go to limit. Limit is what I use a lot of the time, pretty much 98% of the time, I would say. Your sell limit and your buy limit, right? So in this example, let's take another pair. Let's say US 2000, right? So for example, US 2000, say I want to take a sell limit. And let's say I want my entry to be at, let's say over here, let's say this order block, which is 1968.7. 1968.7, right? And let's say I want to trade, again, let's say 0.2 lots, for example, right? So the margin, I mean, 0.2 lots is a bit too small, I think. The contract size here is, okay, let's say one lot to keep things simple. One lot. And if you hover around the quantity, you will also see everything, right? All the details that you need to see. But the nice thing here that I like personally is, you know how you have to calculate a lot size every single time you enter a trade, depending on your size of your stop loss. What I can do is, okay, I know that I want to enter the trade here. I want my stop loss to be, let's say, for example, somewhere here at 1980, let's call it 1980. So now that I know, if I use one lot and my stop loss size is about 11.3 pips, I will be losing about $11.3, right? So say I don't want that. I want to increase my lot size. So I can directly go risk here, 2 lots, for example. Then I can clearly see, okay, $22.6 I will lose if I use 2 lots. So you can manually change your quantity here after you put your stop loss size, so you can directly see how much you're going to lose instead of going down the long route of calculating your losses. Because if you remember, I mean, it's simple, right? If you use limit order, you have the time to do your risk management in a calm fashion manner, right? Instead of using a market order. So you can clearly do everything here instead of doing everything, and you can also know your sell margin, right? Same thing with your take profit. Wherever you set your take profit, you'll see the estimated profit and everything. So let's say, for example, I do place an order. There you go. I have my everything placed here. And notice also, it again tells me everything you need here, right? So the risk management scene and tracking your stop losses and take profits are quite easy. It's quite simple. So that's pretty cool with the risk management side. But the one thing that stands out to me when it comes to Ctrader than any other platform is your ability to set multiple take profits,
Можно.
right? So let me show it to you. So for example, okay. So I have a one lot trade here and say my stop loss is somewhere here, for example. Instead of me setting with just one take profit, you have an option called advanced protection, right? So you see that symbol there right in the middle, right there. Once you click that symbol, it takes you this tab here where it's quite interesting. You can set up multiple take profits. So my whole quantity size at the moment is one lot, right? So say I want to set up 2 take profits, right? I want to get out once I say the market moves, let's call it 10 pips or 15 pips from my entry. I want to get out of the trade. I want to close off about half of my position, which is half lot, right? And then I say, okay, in position take profit 2, I want to close my trade at 25 pips after the entry, right? Which would be again a half lot, right? So I want to set up 2 take profits. And the other excellent thing about this is also you can also choose to move your stop loss to break even without you actually manually doing it. So let's say that I say once price hits take profit 1, which is at 15 pips from entry, I want my stop loss to be at break even. So I would put 15 pips, all right? And also they have made it a little bit advanced. Like for example, this brings my stop loss to break even, right? But say I want to actually bring the stop loss not at break even, my entry point. I want to actually put my stop loss also a bit into the take profit side, like into profit. I can say, like for example, 5 pips into profit, right? So once price hits take profit 1, it's going to move my stop loss not only to break even, and it will move it to take profit, about 5 pips into take profit, right? And once I hit apply, that's it. All my take profits have been set up, right? I have to do nothing, just chill out, and instead of closing or opening multiple positions at a time, price can go in, and I don't have to, it's all fully automated. I don't have to go manually change up the take profits and my stop losses. But there's a catch to this. It's a very tiny catch to this, right? So to use your advanced take profit and your stop loss, your computer or your phone, but I don't think there's an option in your phone, but your computer has to be connected to the internet, right? So your trading panel needs to be open when you have set this all up. So if you're using a desktop or a laptop and you have the luxury to do so, you could do this, right? And another great thing, by the way, that I forgot to mention about the stop loss is that once it moves to break even, it also makes sure to cover your commissions, right? The broker commissions. So every broker per lot, they charge few dollars, like for example, $5, $10 a lot. When the stop loss has been moved, it'll move in such a way that the commissions are also been taken care of. So you're truly at break even once price hits when price does hit that stop loss. So that I think is excellent. And another great thing about this as well, say you have set up the take profits, right? You can also choose to manually move it, right? Instead of say you want to move it down here, maybe take profit there, take profit maybe here, right? You could choose to do so, which is pretty great. So I would say those are the most important differentiate. What gives Ctrader a more competitive advantage more than these other trading platforms, right? Same thing with stop orders. If you use stop orders, you could do the same thing. All right, so the other panels, that's your new order tab there. You have your depth of market here. This is quite unique, right? This is something I still have to experiment with. But if any of you have traded the futures market, you have access to data of orders. At what point in the market those orders have been set up. So for example, at 1939, for example, at this point, there's a lot of orders been set up, right? So that can help me know what kind of liquidity is at that zone. So for example, if my order block is at that zone, maybe it can help me out in placing orders, right? But this is something I still need to experiment with. It's still a little bit new to me, this feature here. What else? Your calendar, right? Your calendar basically tells you everything, all the fundamentals that's releasing. I personally don't use it because I use another website, Forex Factory. And then your symbol info, right? Symbol info would tell you everything you need to know about your trade. What is the lot size per trade? Like what is your contract size? How many lots you can use with the max trade quantity, minimum trade quantity, what is the swaps, right? Everything you need to know about your the pair that you're trading, all the information is right there. Another one was your market hours, what hour your pair opens at and what hour it closes at, right? And your leverage, which is pretty cool because Metatrader doesn't tell you straight up. You have to manually check. It clearly tells you in this example, this pair here has a 1 to 10 leverage, which is quite low because it's a regulated broker, but it's quite helpful because that can tell you, okay, if I use up a lot of my, if I place a big lot, that would use up a lot of my margin. So I need to, you need to make sure that you don't get margin called, right? So make sure to check your leverage, right? Because once you can look at your leverage, you can look at what the margin is. You can look at your account size and determine if that's the right fit, the lot size. So these are the most important features, I would say, to execute your trades. Again, your depth of market, which is again your data here, your calendar, your news, what kind of news, all the news articles, just like TradingView. Your auto chart list. Let me see if the auto chart list works in. I think it does work in Forex pairs. So your auto chart list is basically like your patterns, right? Like a triangle pattern, your channel patterns. What kind of is basically giving you some analysis. The platform is giving you some analysis from itself. I don't use it, but there are some people who probably use this. I would say that's it. I think that's quite clear and precise, very easy to use. Over time, you'll get a hang to it. Just give it a few days. All right. 1 second.